Hello, it's Polly from Horacio Printing, and I am so honored and excited to walk you through setting up your 2026 Dream Planner. I'm going to take you step by step through the next couple of videos and walk you through dream planning, creating your bucket list, your personal growth planning, refocus cloud, heart check, generosity planning, and really helping you conquer your fears with scripture to help you walk into 2026 clearly. So I wanted to just start this whole series with a little encouragement, and I also want to share with you what my word of the year is. This is going to be a very active workshop that we do together, so make sure you have your 2026 Dream Planner handy, and we're going to kick things off at the end of this video. But this year, my word of the year, I actually came up with it in January of 2025. I picked out my word for 2026. So I've been marinating on this word all year. It's actually two words. It's lean in. Lean in, not the Sheryl Sandberg Lean In for the Corporate Ladder, although that's a great book and, nothing against it. But when I think about leaning in, it's in relation to actually a ski trip that I went on in January. So in January, me and my husband went on a ski trip. It was actually our first ski trip together. I've never skied before. My husband's from Colorado, and so he's a huge ski guy. He is incredible at it. And so I agreed, okay, finally, 10 years into marriage, I'll learn how to ski. So I went and got ski lessons. And for those of you who have done ski lessons ever before, one of the things your instructor teaches you is to lean forward. And as you're skiing down a mountain and catching speed, your instinct is to lean back. And your instinct isn't to lean forward, whether you're snowboarding or skiing, it's kind of like surfing, you want to lean back in a way. And, it's just out of the instinct. And so that's really the way that I want to enter 2026 is leaning in. And here's the thing, when you do something that's brand new, there is just a baseline discomfort in the newness. That's just what it is. There's discomfort in what is unfamiliar. And so you have to lean into that. You have to kind of lean into that discomfort if you want to see the change you want to see. If you want to see something new, you have to disrupt your routine. You have to disrupt your instincts. And you also have to be aware of what are my instincts? What do I naturally lean into? What am I naturally doing to escape my life? What am I naturally doing on my phone, right? These instincts we have that just kind of build over time and kind of take over our schedule and our time. Does that make sense? So what I want to encourage you to do, and what this is me preaching to myself as well, I want to lean in to who I really want to become. So some things you can lean into is leaning into the presence of the Lord, leaning into His Word. So creating, one of my goals is to create an active rhythm to meet with Him and experience His presence daily. What a great thing to lean into. But that requires disrupting my schedule and creating time for that and being really consistent. Leaning into dreams that scare you. That could be your big thing this year. Leaning into what sets your heart on fire. Leaning into your blessings of marriage and motherhood. Leaning into wellness of your mind, body, and soul. So the active pursuit of movement, the active pursuit of digital boundaries. For me, the active pursuit of more time with Jesus and silence with Jesus. One thing to lean into that I really leaned into in 2025 was rest. Doing less, saying no, which was so hard, but so fruitful to help me lean into my blessings, to help me lean into my marriage, help me lean into healing. And so one of the ways that we lean into rest and that we're actually called to lean into rest as a gift from the Lord is Sabbath, is, turning off our phones and turning off our work mind and resting in His protection, resting in His provision. So we can rest in that, leaning into new possibilities. The life you live right now, you can know this, the life that you're living right now can change. It can absolutely change, but it's not going to change if you just lean back into doing exactly things the exact way that you've been doing it. You have to lean in to the discomfort of the newness, of the new routine, of the new thing that you're testing and trying in your business, of the new thing that you're signing up for a class for a workout, the new thing of the, new eating plan or whatever it is. Leaning in will change your life if you lean into who you want to become. And we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of your life, of all areas of your life, so you can really see what areas do I really need to change? What areas am I unfulfilled in or unhappy in or just complacent in? So we're going to deal with all of those and we're going to look into them, and it's different for everybody. So my question for you is, what do you want to lean into this year? And maybe what area of your life are you kind of just leaning back and leaning into the comfort or the complacency? Does that make sense? Last year in 2025, I went on a spiritual pilgrimage with my amazing spiritual director, Amy Brady. And one of the things that we did on this spiritual pilgrimage was we went to the Isle of Iona, which this right here is a rock from Iona. This is actually Iona marble, which if you've ever seen the Abbey in Iona, it is made out of this marble. So I brought this rock home, brought a couple of rocks home. But on the trip, one day we went down to Columbus Bay, which is basically a rock beach, and it's filled with so many rocks. Like, I'm just going to show you some of the rocks that I brought home. And as you're walking on the rocks, it's just stunning and beautiful. But one of the things that our guide told us to do was to go looking for rocks. Look for the little green rocks, which are called Columbus tears, and look for the white Iona marble that has green veins in it. And I looked and looked and looked and looked and looked like a kid at an Easter egg, competition, looking around, hunting for these rocks, and it was freezing cold. I was in a full ski suit in April hunting for these rocks, and it was so cold. But anyways, I was comfortable. I was in my ski suit, same ski suit from the ski trip, and I'm picking up these rocks and putting them in my pocket. Ooh, 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 that one's beautiful. This one's beautiful. This one's beautiful. And there was a prayer labyrinth nearby, and I don't know if you've ever done a prayer labyrinth, but it's really beautiful because it's a way to embody your faith, meaning to do a body movement as you pray and as you spend time with God, which really helps your brain to kind of shut down and allow yourself to stay in it. Have you ever prayed and your mind wanders and you're like, oh gosh, I was trying to pray. Why am I thinking about the laundry now? It's just a way to kind of connect a little more. So I'm doing this prayer labyrinth, and at the time in my life, I was going through an intense season of trial and hopelessness and fear, and I just felt so out of control from the day I landed on this trip, which was the timing of God entirely. And I needed a word from God, God, what am I supposed to do in this situation? I have no idea what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to lead. And as I walked into the labyrinth, I heard the Spirit whisper to me, pick up all the rocks in your pocket. So I put my hands in my jacket pocket and I pick up all the rocks. And I thought maybe I picked up 15 rocks, maybe. I had picked up 50 plus rocks in my pocket. My pockets were so filled with rocks. I had no concept. Of how many rocks I had just picked up. And I just laughed. I laughed right there okay, I get it. You have no idea what you're carrying right now, Polly. You have picked up so many rocks unknowingly, and you're carrying too much. You picked up stuff that didn't belong to you. Stuff that, oh, I want to do that. Ooh, let me do that. Ooh, that's really fun. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And it's this FOMO of saying yes to so many things. And it's not that they're bad things. They're often, they were perfectly good things to pick up, but it's become too heavy. And I was not called to carry a lot of the things I'd picked up. Some of them were people's expectations of me, carrying the weight of other people's success, or just all kinds of things, from the tangible to the intangible, if you know what I mean. And I just felt the Lord say, give it to me. So I walked out of the labyrinth and I took those rocks. I walked all the way down to the ocean. I took the rocks and laid them out on a bigger rock. And I picked the ones I wanted to keep, because there were a couple that I really wanted to keep. This one has like an M on it, which reminds me of like the rock of motherhood. This is like the rock of like something really important that I have picked up that like really matters. And marriage, like that's an important rock. There are rocks that we must keep. And there were so many rocks that I've said yes to and picked up and have unknowingly carried and weighed myself down with. And so I took those rocks and I picked up as many as I could and I just threw them into the ocean. And it was such a freeing moment for me. And I am still continuously having to audit what I'm picking up. And I encourage for you to do the same, for you to consider what feels out of control, whose expectations are you holding on to, what weight are you carrying right now that is not yours? Like, what rocks are you carrying? What rocks have you picked up? And are there any rocks that you feel called to lay down? Every yes in our life will carry weight, and we have to be careful about what we pick up. And even now at work, every meeting I keep these rocks on my desk and I hold the rock in my hand. And it's a symbol for me to not pick up someone else's work, to not pick up someone else's task, to not say yes and overcommit my schedule to where I can't show up for the rocks that matter. Right? And an incredible print school student just shared with me the other day, and it was so beautiful. She said, I am focused and my goal is always for the 3 eternal things, the 3 most important eternal things. That's the only thing I care about is God, God's word, and people. And that was just so beautiful. Like, those are beautiful rocks, the eternal. If what matters, everything else is dust. And so we're going to go through some things to let go of today, especially in our heart check section. I just want to encourage you with that. So that's my little encouragement for today. What do you need to let go of? What do you want to lean into this year? And I want you to take some time to sit and to journal that. Take some time to sit and to journal what you want to lean into, and also what you want to let go of. So let's take some time. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock, and I'd love for you to just take some time to think about those 2 questions and to write them down. Great job. I am so excited. 2026 is going to be an incredible year. Before we dive into all of our dreams for 2026, it's great to do a reflection on what we are grateful for and do an annual praise report. So I would love for you, either inside of your 2025 dream planner, if you have it, or inside of your 2026 dream planner. One of the places people do it is right here on this page. You can just do a quick praise report here, or you can put it in the back of your planner as well, a 2025 praise report. So what went right this year? What are you thankful for? What epiphanies did you get from God? What think back on the year and the things, so often we look back at the negative. What can we be grateful for and thankful for? So let's take some time to write that down, and I will see you in the next video.